Greetings all. My name is Tye Minckler, and I am honored to serve as the Senior Director of Finance. I want to take a minute to recognize the important work that Heidi and Leslie provide this department. They are contract workers because they have other clients, so they're not focused only on CSL, but their focus is laser sharp when they are here. So I really appreciate them. They are really good. I also want to take a minute to recognize the support from Tony Diaz, our CSL Treasurer, and the Finance Committee, Stephen Brabant, Steve Gabrielson, Mike McMorrow, and Alice Reed. They have been extremely supportive of me through all of the changes and challenges, and I'm grateful. I want to start the presentation of this department by sharing the department mission. It's pretty standard, but it is important that you all know that we recognize we are a service department and that clear, accurate, timely reports are our product and that we use best practice, low cost and transparent processes, and of course, always with security priority. As we reflect back on 2024 goals in light of that mission, I can share that we did have timely, accurate monthly reports. We did pay vendors and contractors timely, and we did get deposits from communities recorded timely. Those aren't normally part of a goal set because they're just part of the job description. You shouldn't have as a goal to do your job. But we didn't do them in 2023 because of various challenges, and they weren't done in 2022 before I was here because of all turnover. So I think it was important to have them as goals to keep those top of mind and make sure we accomplish those. We also did a new payroll system beginning of last year that has worked well, and we have installed a new payable system so that we can make payments to our international partners since we are an international organization. We've improved the receivables system for tracking, and we did do some good cross-training for department coverage. We have not documented all of our processes and procedures, and that's something we need to do, and so we'll get to that. Other successes include the audit, which you don't normally talk about as a success, but we started the year without an auditor because the auditor retired, and auditors are in short supply. Thankfully, Reverend Dr. Alice found an auditor mid-year, and we were able to get that done and approved just last December. The audit was good and finalized two major adjustments. We reported $350,000 loss last year. When I finally got the cleanup done for year-end work and turned it over to the auditor, it was about a $400,000 loss. And then we had two large one-time non-cash decreases in 2023. One was based on a change in accounting practice where we simply are recording all of the practitioner license fees in the year we receive them, as opposed to spreading them over 2 years, which is unnecessary work. And the other was a decrease based on an entry that was not done for 2022, for the 2022 audit. My predecessor didn't do it, and I wasn't able to follow up on it. So it really reflects work that was supposed to have done and been reported in 2022. So together, those were $200,000. And so that means we report officially a $600,000 loss for 2023. And of course, you can see our community for more details. We keep everything in our community reconciliations and whatnot. So moving to 2024 results, not audited yet, of course. It was a little bit disappointing at about 3.16 million in revenue, 600,000 less than 2023. Development operations, which is mostly individuals and communities, representing about 60% or 1.8 million of our total revenue. That was down $160,000 from individual donations. Individual donations were down 160, and community giving was down about $186,000. The program revenue is spread pretty evenly between education, field services, and publishing. It represents about 1.2 million of our 3.1 million in revenue. It was about $250,000 less than 2023. Magazine was down about 70,000, and education was down about 180,000. So overall results were disappointing, $515,000 loss. This includes some extraordinary non-cash expenses related to the Camp Cedar Ridge purchase, in addition to the normal depreciation charge. So the cash loss in 2024 was actually 380,000, not 515,000. But importantly, we were able to decrease expenses in 2024 by $718,000 compared to 2023. I'll repeat that for emphasis. We decreased expenses in 2024 by $718,000. So that aside, now moving to 2025, I'm excited to share that 2025 looks better thanks to the work that Michelle and the entire home office team have done. We are set to thrive in 2025. Not only were expenses less by 718,000 in 2024, the budgeted expenses for 2025 are down by another $600,000. That is due in part to salary cuts and by closing the master's program, among other things. The budget 2025 reflects lower total revenue by $100,000 to be a bit conservative, but of course we hold the intention that magazine subscriptions will grow, that more folks will take education classes, and that communities will honor their community giving pledges. So in that regard, let me share a graph that shows the committed giving over the past 4 years. The decrease has been dramatic, and we can't blame it on decreased attendance. The annual reports that communities turn in show an average of 19,000 members in attendance weekly last year, whereas the prior 4 years averaged about 18,000. So attendance is fine, but the decrease in the committed giving in 4 years of $400,000 is a significant decline in support. Regardless of what it might mean, we are taking action. And that action is not only reflected in substantially decreased expenses, it is also reflected in the abundance plan, which is our strategic plan for 2025, as I shared yesterday. So that brings me to the last slide, which is the balance sheet. It gives me a chance to talk about some of these assets and liabilities. For current assets, we have cash and receivables and prepaid expenses of about $577,000. Then fixed assets, we have are the properties we own in Golden, Colorado, and Vernonia, Oregon. The current liabilities include trade payables, deferred revenue, as well as the Science of Mind Foundation loan. And regarding the foundation loan, we have proposed a repayment plan to the foundation board that I think will be accepted as a reasonable plan in their board meeting in March, if it hasn't taken place already. Then we have long-term liabilities that include the mortgages on the Colorado and Oregon properties and a loan from a former camp owner that is due in May of 2027. We have a plan to refinance the former camp owner loan in 2 years, and I have no worries that we will have the challenge getting that done. Regarding the building in Golden, Colorado, the former home office, as you all know, we're trying to sell. We have received an offer to buy the building. It is not for the price we need, and so we are investigating options with the bondholders. I expect the liability to be resolved soon. And that's it. That's my report. Thank you all for being here and for your support.